all the problems and the encumbrances of Israel needs to come before Commanding General Yohana and his generals and his captains and his officers. That problem would have been solved in 2 weeks had they been in the ISUPK. And any other problem we have in the nation, child support will be solved in the ISUPK, separations will be solved in the ISUPK, land disputes, money disputes will be solved in the ISUPK, because the knowledge in here is the greatest knowledge on the earth, and it's the only source of righteousness. If those brothers really want to work it out, they call Tazariak and ask him to judge the matter, and he will judge it rightly.
The ISUPK does a lot of necessary and great work for the community, such as food giveaways, GED programs, etc. For the viewers or those interested in getting their GED, how would they go about attending that program?
That's correct. The UPK, we do a whole ton of what you would call, most people would call community service, right? We utilize what's a government license, which is called a 501c3, which gives us the license to openly collect funds and donations and use those funds and donations for whatever we deem fit to help. All right, and that's what we use to have the food drives. We have a ton of food drives, not even locally. We have food drives coming out of the United Kingdom. We have food drives in the Caribbean islands, in Nicaragua, where we feed people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who would otherwise have to depend on Donald Trump. You get the point? The GED programs has been part of the UPK forever, and we've really aligned that with the prison program. Captain Zakar out in New York, he runs the prison program, and of course, if you have people who are incarcerated and they want to get their GED, all you do is just email ISUPK PD, ISUPK.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Also a sincere shalom to the elect, that is peace to the elect. I want to go on this video I ran across. I think YouTube just sends them to me or something. I don't know. Ultimately, it's the Spirit of the Lord. But I saw this video in the thumbnail, and I said, well, I'll take a look at it. You know, so there's a couple of things they said. The food drives, he said they do that under the 501c3. This is also going into what our previous videos are being flagged for. With the max, right? This all goes into that, because what the gov will say is like, look, you follow a IRC code, you do what we say, or you follow the curriculum, and we'll take care of you, right? I don't know why they need a government program in order to make donations, because that's what it is. It's a donation. So I don't understand that, but maybe it's a tax exempt write-off. And anytime you deal, on that level of let's say faith and belief, and you involve the people who have you in captivity, okay, to help get you amenities and get rich. And I'm not saying this hasn't happened. I'm just saying that we're in the last days, we're in the end times, and we at the point now that, we have to trust in the Lord. The scripture says, Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your spirit. Does this sound like a group of men that trusted in the Lord? Anyway, he said he does food drives, GED programs, prison programs. Okay, sounds good, right? Well, you don't need the 501c3 to do that. Okay, there are father figures that are in different camps, and that's why we have through the Spirit, there's elders and different elders and men that have set up to help with that. I helped younger brother, told him what direction to go, and get his GED, and he got his GED. You need it to work. You know, in fact, they don't even know how many people pulled up and see if you had a GED in order to work. But if it's just something to do the right thing and just say, hey, I got that under my belt, okay, that's what you do. So, you know, I don't think you need the 501c3 to help with donations, to help with GEDs. It's just involving the government too much in that. Now, some people will say it's a great thing. You're helping people. You're going into the prisons and you're taking the blacks out of the prisons. And they're doing that on that particular side. That's their thing. And if so-called black people are helped, that's coming out of prisons and they're coming into the truth, and then wherever they need to go, they need to go. But, you know, our gripe is you don't need the government, you know, tax benefits to teach the truth. That's not in the scriptures, right? You're supposed to just be able to teach. And because of that, in these last days, this is why these guys don't believe in the chip. They believe it's okay to max, you know. They believe in these things. Why? Because they're under the code of that 501c3, right? Let's go to Hebrews 5 and 12. It says, I'll make this quick if I can. It says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles. Right? This is somebody who already know. These guys need to be taught again. This man said you must come under commanding General Yohana if you want to solve all problems. If you want to get fixed, if you want to get your GED, if you want to fix child support, right? I don't know how they're doing that, but that's what they said. Which they're gonna set it up and tell a man what to pay, how to pay. I don't know. That's too much governmental things involved, and too much personal stuff in things involved in people's matters. Again, it all boils down to trusting in the Lord. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. You know, these guys should know the scriptures. Okay, it says the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such as have need of milk and not strong meat, because you got these guys, they still stuck in milk. Right? So let's go to principles, which the principles go back to Prince. Well, when you go to principle, it just basically means a beginning. Going back to the beginning. Also a rule of conduct. Okay? Also a rule of conduct. Right? So let's go to, there wasn't much in the blue letter, but let's go here. It says a monarch, a king, the ruler of principality or state. Ultimately, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, set up principles. Okay? The principle of everything, okay? So we can see that these guys aren't following the principles. If they were following the principles, they would trust in the Lord. That's the first commandment. Right? Okay, that's the first commandment. And Isaiah 55 and 1 says, ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that have no money, come ye buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money, without a price. So these guys said that that they will use the government to get donations. So which the government does is the government helps them on their so-called walk to, you know, set up how to get, you know, they got these conferences. They sets them up on how to get what and how to get you know, better donations and what avenues and what tools to use, but you must do it the way we say it, and I guess rightfully so, because you're going under the banner of them, so you have to do what they say. That's why these guys call on Christ too. Okay, so the truth is free, and that's why they got those. They're selling CDs and all different apparels, and again, I have no hatred towards ISUPK. It's just the manner of the way they move is not legitimate and it's not righteous according to the scriptures. Right? Let's go to John 6:26. Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles. Right? They don't believe in the miracles. They don't believe that the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to feed you and make a way. They don't believe that. They trust in themselves. They trust in the flesh. Right? He says, not because y'all saw the miracles, but because y'all did eat of the loaves and were filled. Okay? And that's why that's why people come. That's why we have these drives. That's just another hook of insincere people to come up and get fed food. Right? Either out of prison or out of or off the streets. And they will seem like legitimate people trying to do the right thing. And if anybody says something against them, they'll say you're being wicked. Like they'll say, I'm doing this video and I'm being wicked. But guess who else does that with the 501c3? The Roman Catholic Church. Right? Your black inner city churches. They all do the same thing. ISUBK is nothing but no more different than a Roman Catholic Church. If you're under that 501c3 and you got to follow the code of what they follow, then you're nothing more than a Roman Catholic Israelite church. Right? But he says everybody needs to come under General Yohana to solve child support. So if you're a brother in the truth and you got a wife that wants to take you to child support, how are they supposed to solve that? But somehow when you're juiced in and they say, well, with this thing that's going on, go ahead and take the max, go in and do what we say, line up. Of course. I give you a little, you give me a little. Or I give you they giving them a little, you got to give back a lot. It's like selling your soul, man. That's what that is. That's like selling your soul. And you know, I don't have much else to go on that. I just wanted to touch on that. I thought this was kind of weird that these guys pretty much what they're saying. You know, they're saying that they you must come under command of General Yohana. You have food drives, you have GED programs, you have all these, you know, certain things that you're set up to fix black people. They're not talking about trying to reach the elect. The more numbers of black people they can reach, the better. But nothing wrong with helping somebody if they need food or they might be hungry. But you're using a government source, a government program, a government tax exemption. It'd be easy for you guys to tell the people if they're hungry to go to a shelter, if they need food stamps to go to social services or the Department of Human Resources. They'll help them. What, these people don't know how to go and do any research and go get food stamps? I don't get that. Nobody knows how to go online and Google to get a GED. There's free programs for that. But when you're juiced in and the government pays you to help, you know, these sources to help people, then that means you're juiced in. If you need the government to pay you to help people in different resources, to get resources, and using people with these resources, and you're getting paid behind it, you're making people a slave to the system under you. No wonder they call him the commanding General Yohana. Okay, that's all I have on that. Shalom.